Welcome to Debbie's Divinely Healthy Kitchen, where we love to eat healthy and take care of the divine bodies God has given us. And today we're making a makeover recipe for cheddar buttermilk biscuits, but with whole foods. Because of the Chavez household, we're now eating whole foods like the way God made food in the first place. None of these weird additives and weird ingredients you don't even know what they are. And we're finding that we feel healthier, we're losing weight, a good plan. So today, again, cheddar buttermilk biscuits. I'm using whole wheat flour. I've already added 2 cups into my bowl here. And to that, I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon baking powder. I'm also gonna add a ½ teaspoon of salt and a ½ teaspoon of baking soda. So let me get those added real quick. And then one other ingredient that we like to sprinkle in our cheddar buttermilk biscuits is fresh ground pepper, for a little extra flavor. So I'm just gonna randomly grind some pepper in here. No measuring needed, just as much pepper as you want. So we'll throw a little bit of pepper in here. And then to that, I'm going to cut in some butter. Now I know that might sound like a strange bit of terminology if you've never cut in butter before, but I just cut off a little smidgen, you know, kind of some chunks of butter, and then I'm going to use a pastry cutter to actually get these bits of butter into kind of like pea-shaped sizes. Let me just show you what the pastry cutter looks like if you've never seen one before. Looks like this, and I'm just going to work that butter and kind of chop it up with this pastry cutter. So again, it's like little pea-sized pieces. I'll show you what it looks like in just a moment. So right now I'm cutting in the butter, cutting it into pea-sized pieces, and it looks like it's about ready. So now the next ingredient that we'll need to add is the cheese, the shredded cheddar cheese. I don't use low-fat cheese. I used to, but we're trying to eat whole foods, and I've noticed with some kinds of reduced cheddar cheeses, they compensate from taking the fat out by putting in strange other ingredients. So we're trying to eat whole foods. This is just a ½ cup of regular sharp cheddar cheese. So we'll stir that in. And then to that, we're gonna add, of course, the buttermilk. About a cup or so of low-fat buttermilk. That's really the only kind of buttermilk they sell. And so I'm gonna pour that in here in just a moment. And this is where I go by feel. I might add a little bit more depending on the feel of the dough. So we'll just kind of see how this feels as I'm stirring it around. See, it's starting to form a little bit of a dough. Yeah, this might just be about right. Again, it was 2 cups of whole wheat flour and then a cup of low-fat buttermilk. So we'll see if this works out as I roll it onto my silicone mat, which is such a handy thing if you haven't purchased one of these. Such a nice thing to be able to put that on your kitchen counter, and then you don't have all the dough stuck all over your counter and you have to try to get it off the counter, and oh, it becomes just a bit of a nightmare. So I love the silicone mat. All right, I'm going to turn this out onto that silicone mat now. And don't be alarmed if it doesn't perfectly form into a ball right away. That's where we can just start working the dough a little bit. Not overly working it, just enough to form a bit of a, about maybe like a 8-inch round, something like that. Looks like my oven is ready. I heard it just beep, did you? Our oven's heated at 400 degrees, and we're gonna cook these biscuits for about 10 minutes. So this is where I'm gonna just start working this dough and trying to get it in a bit of a shape. Like I said, maybe an 8-inch round, perhaps about a ½ inch deep. And we might have to put a little bit more flour on here. I can tell it's going to be a little sticky, and that's where we just add a little bit more flour by feel. I'm trying to work this into a bit of a ball at the moment. Takes a few minutes to get it going. Just be patient. It'll be worth it. And if you want to know how many calories are going to be in about, well, 1 biscuit, this makes about 10 biscuits. 1 biscuit would be about 140 calories. But so tasty. See how it's forming in a ball? Just have to be patient, keep working it, keep working it. And now I'm gonna just press it down into, like I said, maybe about an 8-inch round. Something like that. Doesn't that look good? Well, maybe not so good yet, since it hasn't been baked yet. But I can start anticipating that cheese and the butter and the pepper. Now this little tool is called a biscuit cutter. It's just a little piece of metal. You could actually use cookie cutters if they're deep enough and make fun little shapes for your biscuit. But this is just your standard biscuit cutter. So all we do is just push down, twist a little bit. There you go, voila. We'll put it on our greased cookie sheet. Usually I get about 10 biscuits out of this recipe. And then we'll, again, bake them at 400 degrees for about 10 minutes. And I'll show you the finished product in just a few moments. And here they are, the finished product, the cheddar black pepper biscuits. I baked these for about 12 minutes Turned out just right. If you'd like the full recipe, go to faithplace.org and click on the Healthy Living tab, and then enjoy.